Hello, I'm here with Captain Dorsett and his crew from Engine 27. On February 1st, Engine 27, along with Battalion 17, we were dispatched to a automatic aid fire in Hallandale. The initial address came in as a northeast address in Hallandale, so all of the units, Hallandale and us, were going east on Hallandale Beach Boulevard. At some point, the address was updated to a northwest address. When that occurred, Engine 27 was put almost on the fire, and it enabled them to arrive within 30 seconds. They arrived on the fire scene and they found a house fire with 2 exposures on either side, Alpha and Bravo and Delta. And Captain Dorsett decided to make a defensive attack. Could you talk about your arrival and what you saw?
Yeah, on our arrival, we found a single-story, single-family home well involved in fire. Once we got there, firefighter Tom Johnson pulled the first pre-connect, went to the Delta side. I assisted him get that line flaked out, got water flowing. I pulled the second line to the Bravo side, started hitting some exposure, and then the Alpha Bravo side of the home. By the time we had that going, driver engineer Sacco had a hydrant right in front of the home, got a water supply, and we had a really good knockdown on the house prior to any other units getting there.
So firefighter Johnson, when you grabbed your line and you went around, what did you have on your side?
The Delta side was fully involved. It was blowing out the roof and all the windows on that side. So I went just immediate attack on it, moved in as close as I could get, and just started hitting it from that side.
Driver engineer Sacco, talk about hitting the doing the changeover and hitting the hydrant by yourself.
Well, it couldn't have been any better placement. The hydrant was right in front of the residence. So after I had the first line going, I connected to the hydrant. It was smooth and easy with the pony line was able to reach. And then we deployed the second line, and it went probably as smooth as anything could go.
Well, when I arrived on scene, probably 5 to 6 minutes after Engine 27 arrived, some Hallandale units had just arrived on scene. This fire, which was fully involved before we showed up, this engine crew, 3 people on it, probably had 60% of the fire knocked down. They worked hard, they worked efficient, they worked together as a team. And once the fire was out, the battalion chief from Hallandale came up to me and said, "Chief, I need to talk to you." Sometimes you're not sure where that conversation is going to go, and did one of our guys get lippy or something like that? And he goes, "Man, I got to tell you, Chief," he goes, "that engine crew could have put this fire out by themselves. That's how good they were." He goes, "I'm so impressed by how they did." And it made me, as a battalion chief, as Joe's supervisor, I can't tell you how proud I was of this engine crew, the job they did, and the tactics they employed. So going back to tactics, I want to ask you a quick question. Joe, when you arrived on scene, you made a decision to pull 2 lines versus 1. What was your thought process on that?
The amount of fire, we needed a lot of water. And the roof was already collapsed, fire blowing out on both sides. There was exposure, a car and a boat over here, and another house with a big tree that was already catching, so we knew we needed more than the 750 gallons that would be on the truck. So we decided to get that line, get the water, and get the second line going right away.
Now, if you had had a fire hydrant close by, would you have pulled 2 pre-connects?
No.
And why is that?
We might possibly would have pulled the second line, but would not have flowed water. With the 750, using the simple math, we only have approximately 5 to 7 minutes flowing out of one nozzle, so we need water supply.
Correct. And if you had pulled 2 lines without a hydrant, you would have ran out of water in about 2.5, 3 minutes, correct?
Correct.
So I think that was an excellent call on why you did that. Now, one last question, and something you had spoken about. Why did you decide to go defensive versus offensive in this fire?
Well, again, the amount of fire that was involved in this home and the roof that had already collapsed, if there was a life there, it was probably perished already, if not out or gone. So that's why we decided to stay with the defensive attack.
All right, well, Joe, Tom, Seiko, I just want to tell you guys, you guys did an incredible job, an excellent job. Not only make me proud, but you made our department proud, and I can't say how happy I am to have you guys working on an engine company down there together. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Like you said.
Owned it.